Hi there, I'm Ricky and you're watching TINGS, a show where I talk about my experiences with film photography. This episode is going to be my first episode and it's going to be about a package that I've been waiting on for a really long time, and after weeks of delays, it's finally here and I'm really excited to show you what I have. This is Filem.sg's mystery film subscription. Straight off the bat, I want to give you some disclaimers. Firstly, I am not sponsored by Filem.sg. So everything I bought from Filem.sg is paid out of pocket. Secondly, I'm relatively new to film photography and photography in general, so please take my critiques, descriptions and reviews with a pinch of salt. I'm just a kid who likes to take photos with film cameras and film stocks that are older than me, so it's really fun to geek out. So I decided to start this channel, start this show, to talk to you guys about film. With those disclaimers in mind, I really hope you stick around. And while you're here, give the like and subscribe button a little love. Let's jump right into it. Now hold on, I can't just open the bag right away. I should give you guys a bit of context about Filem.sg and how I came across the mystery film subscription. So let's store this away in some place please. So a few months ago, a bit more than that because COVID time is a little wonky, I came across an Instagram ad for mystery film subscription. Every single month for a prepaid amount of time, Filem.sg would send you a bag of films. They cost around $40 in each bag. And can come with like 1 roll, 2 rolls or 3 rolls, which have a total value of $40. Now these film rolls are particularly rare. You can't really find these in shops, at least the limited number of shops that I've been to. So I was really excited and I decided to pick them. I hadn't gotten around to picking up new rolls since Circuit Breaker started. So I decided, why not, splash a bit and experiment with some films that I normally wouldn't come across. If you couldn't already tell, I'm pretty new to photography. There was only a handful of film stocks that I'd tried before Circuit Breaker started, so I decided, experiment a little, find out more about what kind of films are out there, especially expired films, which I haven't touched. I wasn't brave enough to splash the cash for, expensive film stocks like Portra 400 or even Ektar 100. I even wanted to try Ektachrome 100, which is slide film, and a little more expensive, so I didn't really venture into it. Heck, I don't think I even tried any Fuji films yet. I was teetering between film stocks that I really knew and were tried and tested, and film stocks that I would only try once. But I mostly stuck with the films that I knew, especially Kodak Gold 200, because these films came out beautifully, always had the tone that I wanted, the feel, that foresty vibe. So I figured, rather than spend $20 at a time shooting and developing rolls of Kodak Gold 200, which I knew would always turn out great, I decided, let's splash a little. Let's put some money into films that I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I'd get out of it. Now, since I'm just a private and I don't have a lot of spending money, I only went for the 3-month subscription, which I highly regret now in hindsight. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's talk about what came in the mail. The first bag came in and it was 3 rolls of this FUJI Industrial 400. Now, I was a little surprised. I thought I was scammed because I've seen FUJI Industrial in shops before, but I didn't realize I haven't seen FUJI 400, which is a discontinued film. This film stock was actually expired in 2015. It was discontinued in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, around there. I kept looking around for FUJI Industrial 400 and there was an article that I looked up and I kind of liked it and really vibed with it, so I was really excited to take it out. You can check out the link in the description, the specific article that I was looking at. It was from myfavouritelens.com. I made a bit of a mistake. I shot the first roll of the FUJI Industrial 400 at 200 speed because I was looking at an article online, again, link in the description, about how to shoot expired film. I mean, it was only expired for 5 years, so I didn't know what to do. It was my first roll of expired film, so I just wanted to give it a shot. Yeah, I spent several hours, non-consecutive of course, looking up that article specifically about how to shoot expired film. Not just for this one, but for films we'll talk about later on. I settled for overexposing my stock, shooting at 200 speed, because since I had 3 rolls, I had wiggle room to experiment a little, so I decided I could afford to make some mistakes. Shooting this at 200 felt really sluggish. I kept getting slow shutter speeds and my aperture kept being wide open because I just couldn't find enough light. Though I think a part of it was me being new at the camera I've been using. To call it secondhand is a little generous because I'm pretty sure a few hands had changed before I got my hand on that camera. When I did find the right exposures, the pictures did come out pretty well. Shooting at park speed, the colors turn out really well. It does have that forest gardeny kind of vibe that Kodak Gold 200 has, but just turned down quite a bit. It also has that soft grain that I find really enchanting. If you do have a chance to shoot Fuji Industrial 400, I highly recommend it. When the rolls of Fuji Industrial 400 came out, I knew then I regret getting 3 months when I should have gotten more, because finding rare films that you wouldn't get from shops normally is actually pretty amazing. While there is that mystery aspect to it, you don't know what you're gonna get, I think you can't really go wrong with it. The second bag came in with 2 rolls of Neopan Presto 400 and a roll of Super HR2, which is super rare. Actually never heard of it, and it was really hard looking it up. But Presto 400, it's a black and white film, which is kind of spicy. So Filem.sg, I don't know what's going on in their head, but I think bringing in that black and white is kind of a good idea. I've shot both rolls of Presto 400 and I felt like a kid in the 50s shooting black and white film on the streets. It was really fun. The first roll I shot at 200 because the article talking about shooting inspired film told me to do so. Well, technically they didn't tell me to do so, they just told me to do the math. And the math said shoot at 200. And I just gotta say, the grain is hella thick. And not in a ugly way, it adds a bit to that vintage charm. Neopan Presto 400 was discontinued in 2013, but these rolls specifically expired in 93, so maybe not so vintage. I shot a second roll at box speed of 400 and partially took some experiments with low lights. I didn't have a shutter release, so I just used my tripod, put exposure settings on auto, and just held on the shutter button. It does come out really well in both daylight and nighttime. So provided you do have a stable tripod and a good light meter, because my camera's light meter works just fine. Like I said earlier, the Super HR2 is a lot rarer, and I couldn't find a lot of information about it online. So if anyone knows more about this, do comment below. It's a lot harder to find information about it relatively to the Fuji Industrial 400 or the Neopan Presto 400. I actually have a roll of it in my camera right now, and it's about to be processed because I still have like a few exposures left. So I'm excited to show you guys how that turns out in another video maybe. But based on the Neopan Presto 400, I think that bag was already worth it. Again, another good month for the film subscription. That brings us to today, where I finally have the last month's bag. I'm not scripting this because I'm seeing this about the first time as you are, so let's open this right up. A little note from Filem.sg, nice touch, and it says, "Hi Ricky, sorry for the delay as we've had some shipping issues. This will be the last subscription for you. Hope to see you participate in our future activities in the future. Here are 2 rolls of ECN2 film. They are film used in movies. It comes with free processing, so do send it back to us. Do not send this to other labs as it will damage your machines." Ooh, thank you. Thank you, Filem.sg. Wow. Wow. Would you look at that? Fuji 8573 Eterna 500, I think. I'm gonna have to check back with them. 36 exposures. There's a weight to it. There's a weight to it. ISO 200, okay. So it's an ISO 200 film. It's a little on the slow end, but definitely shootable. I'm really excited to shoot these. Maybe in the next episode I'll talk about shooting these and how they come out. Would I have gotten a longer subscription? Hell yes, if only I had the money. It's too late now because Filem.sg's mystery film subscription service is all sold out. I did ask them if they'll be having another run of it, and they said maybe next year. So here's hoping to them having another go at the film subscription, because this shit bombs. This shit a bomb. Major shout out to Filem.sg, their website that sells film stocks, though a lot of their stocks are sold out right now. They also sell pretty good looking cameras. Can't vouch for them because I haven't bought a camera from them yet, but they do look pretty sick. Once again, not sponsored by Filem.sg, but go pay them a visit. You might find something you might like. Let me know of any other film subscription services that I might be interested in. If you haven't figured it out by now yet, I'm a huge fan of it. I think my first film subscription went really well, and I'm really excited to try it again if I can find one. But what about you folks? Would you pay in advance for a subscription of film rolls that you don't know what's gonna come out? Would you pay for that risk? How much would you pay for it? And how rare do you expect the film rolls to be? If you had a limited number of rare films, would you experiment with them? Or just shoot them at box speed, even though they're decades expired? You've made it to the end of this video. I've been Ricky, and thank you so much for watching. And I guess since I'm an analog photography YouTuber, I have to cue the lo-fi intro right now. Subscribe!